kind of better understanding other people, because when you speak their own language, the way of thinking you have different, and it's always making closer the person you're talking to. I mean, when somebody like a foreigner speaks Ukrainian with me, I would be very happy. So that's why I was thinking, why not to learn the language, like the country you want to go or to see. So that's why I started learning. But if I had more time, I would learn more languages. Yeah.
If I forgot how to fly, if I fell from the sky, when it's all said and done, would you follow me down?
Good.
Yeah.
So you are from Ivano-Frankivsk in
Yes.
Ukraine.
Yes.
Could you explain your travel from Ukraine to England, because now you are in England, right?
Yes. Well, when the war started, that's this nightmare is still going on in Ukraine, and it's really very, very scary and stressful situation in Ukraine. And during the war, we were thinking a lot, like with my parents, what to do, how to do. My parents still in Ukraine, my brothers with their families there, and I worked there. I mean, in Ukraine last year because I work in the university. And when the winter came, we had blackouts, we had all these sirens, and it was just so stressful and scary that I decided this year uh, to come here because I have a friend and she helped me with finding hosts. So I took my daughter because she went to school in Ukraine and she's just 9. I worked in the university when there were sirens. I was worrying a lot. I was hurrying up to pick her up from school, and I mean, yeah, a lot of people doing that, but somebody probably can take it easier or somebody can stay it. But for me, it was really too hard, and I felt like psychologically I couldn't stand it anymore, because I was also translating news to from Ukrainian into Chinese, because China gets all fake information from Russia, and we have Ukrainian as Sinology Association, and we try just to tell the truth to those people, to let them understand what is going on in Ukraine really. And the news were just so horrible. A lot of my colleagues seeing the news, just straight away they were saying, we are not I'm not going to translate that is too hard. Or, I mean, not hard like to translate, but it's psychologically to read those articles were hard. But I did all translations and all about those cruel and just unhuman things the Russian soldiers were doing to Ukrainians. I mean, not just men and women, but to kids and even infants. And then it's something you can't forget the whole life. I was sleeping, I probably for 1 month, I don't remember, but almost every night you have this in your mind, and it's just you're having these nightmares. And if you don't take a break, I think I would just go insane or something, paranoid about all these things, because I also have a child. And watching other children, I was just, when I watched them, I saw those cruel things, like harms. If there was my child in that situation, I don't know what I would do. I would just have a heart attack or something. That is really, well, actually I don't want to talk about war because it's too hard. I mean, inside there is a very, very big mm, wound, how we can say that wouldn't be healed, I think. But we try to live, yeah. And because of we have children and we have our relatives in Ukraine, somebody has to be strong. We have to go on living and find the way out. It should be, and just praying, and praying and doing everything we can to help our soldiers, and praying the war stops in Ukraine as soon as possible. Here we already have a year. Yeah, we came in September, and what I plan is just for half a year, just to stay during the winter, because probably the hardest time is during the winter with the the blackouts, and I mean when it is cold and getting dark soon, and all this, it's period of time is really hard. And especially when we have holidays, Russians just getting crazy. And on the 29th and on the 2nd of January, they did really very terrible attack on Ukrainian cities like Kharkiv, Kiev, and Lviv, and yeah. And actually, though we live in the western part, and it's kind more or less safe, but before I was leaving or deciding to leave because I didn't want to go to leave Ukraine, but then there was just okay accident, but you never know. In our Ivano-Frankivsk region, the bomb hit it just one building, one house, and 8 years old boy died straight away. And that is something you also is thinking. Just if there is this 1%, if it hits, and I have like something with my child, I won't forgive myself. So that it probably also made me decide to leave at least for a while and then see how it goes. I always hope that the war will stop. Like day by day, we pray. Okay, probably it would be the end, but watching the news, I don't know what to do later. I mean, I'm still trying, working online or finding the way out. But hopefully, one day we can go back home and live safely. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. It's terrible, terrible. Yeah, my wife, Borislava, she cries every week because of this war. It's really terrible.
for sure. Oh,
Mm.
yeah, it's good to go somewhere. Well, one one side when you go somewhere, you have harder homesick. It's so hard, you miss home so much. I love traveling, everything, but not during the war. But at the same time, when you don't hear the sirens and if you don't stick to the news every day, like all the time, I mean, it's a little bit better. I mean, I can feel like psychologically it's a little bit because you have to do a lot of things outside. I mean, being in another country, there is still of uh well challenges, yeah, I must say, you have to deal with. And probably because of that you don't have so much time thinking of those things happening. But at the same time, yes, finding all Ukrainians here and trying to think what can we do for Ukrainians, what can we do for the soldiers, to give some help, and whatever we can do, trying to solve a little bit, at least just a little bit from everybody. I think it will be also good. uh,
Yeah,
well, that is the situation now.
but what were you teaching? You say you were a professor, university in
Yeah,
Ivano-Frankivsk. What was your
job.
job? Uh,
Yeah,
teach.
I
What were you teaching?
yeah, I work in Ivano-Frankivsk National University and in Lviv National University as well. I teach Mandarin. I teach Chinese students from 1 year grade till masters. Yeah, I have all kind of students, and yeah, I enjoy that a lot. The only thing, Ukrainian salaries in the university is a problem, but
Hmm.
well, that is the way we are doing private classes. I opened my own courses in Ivano-Frankivsk. I rented an office. I'm still renting because I planned to come back. I'm still planning one day, yeah, and that's why I didn't want to quit my office because I did all the way I wanted it to be with the paintings or some things like to put in everything in Chinese style. So I have a lovely cozy office where I had students as well. Yeah.
Ah, okay. So, in fact, your job, you can practice your job practically everywhere in the world, because
Yeah. Yeah, that is kind of work. Yeah, now I can do all over the world. It doesn't matter where I am. Yes, I can work distantly, but yeah, the thing is, when I came here, I really don't want to stay home because when you stay home, you are all alone with your thoughts, and it's good when you can go out and just meet people and then speak. And I think this is very important for all Ukrainians just to do because if if you just close yourself to yourself, it's making you, it's like killing you, slowly. So that's why I just hope not to work distantly online or at least to have a little bit online and then something else. Yeah.
So what are you doing now in England?
Really. Yeah, I'm still searching for the job because I live in a very small town and I don't have my car. I mean, I don't have car here, and you have to take public transport. But it is not convenient actually because I have a daughter. So in the morning I have to send her to school and then to take her back home. And I just have half a day, but I don't live in town. And actually, even in town, they don't have so many vacancies. I applied to many schools, kindergartens, and even in hotels. But alas, I can't find a job, and it's something making me very interested. I mean, I even don't get the reply why, or somebody can say like, sorry, we already have somebody. Okay, but a lot of vacancies, they just don't reply. I send my resume, I say cover letter, I send to them, but well, it's different country. I still didn't get
Yeah.
this point, but well, I'm searching. I'm still on going to the job center and looking, and online I'm searching, but as well I'm doing online classes as well, so I can go on living. Yeah.
Okay. And what about your search for love? So you registered with us not so long ago, actually,
Yes.
and it has not been successful yet because
No.
you are such a dynamic
Thank
person.
you. Well, I must say my life is very busy, and I've always been very busy, and maybe I don't pay too much attention to finding somebody, but I still believe in fate. If the right person comes, of course, if I have anybody talking to me, I'm trying to keep in touch and just see how it goes. So I'm open and yeah, but still, no, nobody is somewhere so very, you know, well, it's just like that. Sometimes it goes like that. I don't know the reason. Yeah.
Would you say that you have lots of requirements? Like in Russian we
Requirement.
say
Mm,
требовательный, нет?
no, I think I am okay. I just want to have a person with whom it would be easy and with whom we can develop both of us. I mean, if the person has the aim in life, like not sleeping the day all day long, but wake up in the morning, doing exercise, having healthy habits, and then I also want to have kids. Probably a lot of people in my age, they already are divorced and having kids already, so they don't want anymore. But I would love, I just have one. And what else? I mean, to have sense of humor and be responsible, yeah, and family oriented. But at the same time, yeah, like like traveling and working and combining all this like all people do, working, traveling, and having fun, because life is short. And I hope somebody would be very active and loving life and not complaining. I mean, yeah, of course different things happens in life, I understand everything, but just if you find the right person and you're together, I think that is already enough.
Yeah. Oh, I have a question for you because
Yeah.
you speak so many languages. We have in our wedding agency we have lots of couples who meet a big problem with
Then,
sense of humor. You said
okay.
because I've noticed that sense of humor is really different from one country to another. And
Yeah.
for example, with my wife, when I'm from France, when I make a joke,
Uh-huh.
she becomes mad at me, and that's
Oh,
really not funny for her. And we have lots of couples who get a separation, who break their
oh,
couple because of a bad joke. That's
I see.
how would you explain that there is so much difference between sense of humor, for example, in Britain, in
Yes.
Ukraine, or in Russia?
Yes. Well, Russia, I don't want to mention. I even don't want to mention this country. I don't want to speak this language and to have nothing connected with them. I'm sorry, but
Yeah, I
um,
know.
yeah, but my point of view is like that. I won't speak Russian, and yeah. But you are right. Actually, this is something made me also understand that how different we are. When I came to Great Britain, I also my one of my neighbors, a man, he used to make jokes really very often, and some and mostly actually his jokes are really, we call it black jokes, like not very, kind. It can be a little bit offensive, but at the same time you have to be open minded, you have to accept that. And actually I understand, because this is their way of joking. And the same in Chinese and the same in Ukrainian, everywhere we have jokes. And I found it's okay. I can, if you have, because in Ukrainian, in Ukraine, we also have a lot of jokes. And some of my jokes probably wouldn't be very funny to them. And sometimes I try saying some jokes. Sometimes they do understand and laugh. Sometimes they are kind of okay. But I think it depends of the person, because I've traveled a lot. I mean, maybe not a lot, but yeah, I lived in China for more than 7 years. And I must say, I saw a lot of people from different countries in China, and I used to communicate to not just Chinese, but were French, Germany, and all over Asian or American, it doesn't matter. But for me, actually, it's okay. I think it depends on personality. I take jokes fine, and actually, I try to find the way why they're laughing, and I laugh too. This is the way you get closer to each other, because I don't think that you can get angry with the jokes. It's just the way of your country, and that's it. So you have to accept and understand. But what is important, I think, is to have a little bit in common language. I had once a person from, I guess from France, but my French is very, I mean, it's a little, just, basic. I passed A1. I want to continue later, probably. I will one day when I have more time. But, when you want to say something more, I always used to use translator. It doesn't work with me. I'm sorry, but it's too hard. If the person speaks English, so we can use English to communicate, I will learn French as well, but it will take time. If I'm 20 years old, okay, I can use translation, but not translator, but not now at my 40. Because when you want to get to know a person and all the time you use translator, and the translator won't give you the right way of thinking, the person wants to tell me, oh, I don't think it's nice. So that's why probably I have to learn more. Or if I find a person I'm sure I want to be with him and he doesn't speak English, I will learn his language.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have some experience already of communication with men on our site or other sites?
Just once, I guess, and he was French. I don't have a lot of person who was writing to me.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Surprised.
right.
Would you say that looking for love is a priority in your life right now, or you have other more urgent priorities?
Now I think this is something I'm already looking for. Yeah, for several years. Yeah, I think so. Probably because I didn't find the right person, so I was just doing my career. I didn't believe in finding personal line. And that's why my hometown is small in Ukraine, and I have a child, so I couldn't go out late at night. I was just going to work and doing things I like at daytime, like dancing, sports all, I mean, Zumba or whatever I like, and some sports, but meeting friends. But I couldn't find a person, and at the same time I was just working and maybe waiting. But then I understood that you have to do something with your life, because the years passes, every year passes so fast. So I decided to to open an account and try to find somebody online, probably because this is already getting more and more popular, and I have friends who found their beloved ones online.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're very active woman. Like you are, you're always 100%. Yeah. So you probably need a man who's going to be just like you, I guess.
Um, well, he can be calm because I'm active. Yeah, I think I'm pretty active, and the person shouldn't be very like me, very active. Sometimes actually, I also like a quiet, life to watch TV, to sit at the fireplace and just have a chat. For me, it's important communication. It's very important, like to talk as much as possible to each other. But yeah, the person just has to be um to has some aims in life. For me, that is important. Like he wants to reach something in this life, or doing his business, or doing the job really, and trying to achieve more and more, and to become better and better. I think this is something very important to me, because I would like to have a person who is going further, further, and because I'm the person like that, and I would like to have somebody who will be even better than me, so we can move together in the right direction. Yeah,
Even more active than you.
maybe not active, but at least
Yeah.
No, of course, I don't think I'm that active. I'm okay, like normal
Mhm.
woman.
Yeah. Is it true to say that Ukrainian women are paying more attention to the status of a man than his physical appearance?
No, I don't think so. Well, it depends on a person. For me, not. Obviously, not. Good looking, in a good shape, yes, it should be. But no, I don't think that nowadays men like to show their muscles, everything. I don't like that. I mean, I don't like pictures without clothes and everything, because this is just your appearance. But the most important, what is inside. I think when the person is nice inside, it would be okay outside as well. And Ukrainian women, I have friends, and all of them, they are okay with the person who is a driver, or one of my friends' husband doing repairing your houses. It's okay. It's not like professors or something. It's not about status, but it's about the inner world of the person. So I think this is just, it depends on a person. Yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting. Uh, and have you noticed you've been living 1 year already in England? Have you noticed some
Oh,
difference?
half a
Half a
year.
year?
Yeah, 5 months. 5 months.
Oh, 5 months.
Yes.
Okay. Have you noticed some differences in the mentality of women in England and Ukrainian women?
Well, unfortunately, I don't have opportunity to talk to a lot of women here, because I've mentioned I live in a very small town. I don't have neighbors, just one family, a man and a woman. And yeah, I love the way they are communicating. They are already in their 70s. They have a lovely family, like big family. They have 4 kids, and they have their families, and well, and sometimes they gather together and invite us. And I think we have in common very family oriented, because Ukrainian women, okay, I will tell myself, but actually I know in Ukraine as well, women pay attention to the family a lot. And we try to take good care of a husband, to be a good supporter, and to be reliable and responsible as well. And we take care of house and kids, but it should be together. I mean, with a man. And here, I also found out their relationship are very sweet. They all the time they're trying to hug each other, to say bye with kisses and everything. That is very lovely, and I really like it a lot. About other things, English women and Ukrainians, I can't tell a lot, because
Yeah.
I didn't have experience. Yeah, unfortunately.
Hmm. Yeah. Understood. Yeah. What about age differences for you for the man? How much older would you accept a man to be for the request?
Well, he can be younger a little bit, but not much. Yeah, before I wanted older, but actually, I know a lot of guys who are already like 36, 37. It can be younger, 2, 3 years. I think it's okay if they are matured enough and um, they like they love their lives and they are full of energy. I mean, wanting to do something. I mean, it's okay. Or having family, for me, it's okay. But about the age, well, I hope it would be uh, up to 45, not too old because I still want kids, and I know when you're getting older, you don't have enough power to run after the kids, or maybe you are tired already of that. So I think I would love to have a little bit of my age, or can be a little bit younger or a little bit older, but not much.
Okay. Okay, good. I like your smile.
Thank you.
You're gonna have lots of requests be, following the video.
Um, well,
Um,
we'll see. I
yeah,
just need one. I just need one. I don't need a
yeah,
lot.
yeah, but it's better to have more choices, I'd say.
Sometimes when you have a lot of choices, it's also not good. Then you start to hesitate. But I hope your heart can feel, is it your person or not? I hope
Hmm.
it would be like that. Well, there is one legend I remember I've heard somewhere long, long ago. Like people were not like this, like we are, but they were back to back and like one person. And this person had two heads, 4 hands, 4 legs, but the body was just one. And then the gods were angry. This person was getting more and more strong because they were smart enough. They could see both sides and were very powerful. And then one day the gods, they believed many gods were in the sky, and they divided the person with the lighter. And because it was very loud, so like one person divided into two. They were running different sides, one to the front, one another side. And nowadays people are looking for their another half, which before long long ago they were together. I don't know if you can get my meaning, but hopefully you do.
This is a saying from which country?
I've heard it in Ukraine.
In Ukraine.
Yes.
Yeah, it reminds me of a saying in Ukraine. I heard that once that the woman is the neck and
Oh
the
yeah.
man is the
Had.
head. Is that
Yeah.
true?
Yeah, people saying that. Um, somebody believes in that. I think it's a little bit like that
But
because woman has her opinion, and if she's pointing this way, the head should go this way. A lot of women, yeah, probably like to a little bit of control, but it depends, about the situation. I mean, if you are wise enough and um it's just when you are together with the man, if the man is not very how to say, if he doesn't see in future, it would be good. So the woman giving him direction, it would be good. But if the man is quite good enough, so it doesn't mean that you have to do a lot of thinking or something. Well, I think it's
okay.
both. Yeah.
One last question. I make some interview with Ukrainian women every day, and
Okay.
yesterday a woman in Finland. She's in
Oh,
Finland right now, and
okay.
she told me that now that she lives in Finland, she discovered a new way of relationship where the man and the woman are partners, and where the woman works and the man works, and they contribute to 50% of the. It's a more equal way of. It's a partnership rather than in Ukraine where she said the man is bringing money and the wife stays at home, and she says she likes it more. Uh,
Mhm.
did you find did you find the same thing, or do you agree with her, or?
Well, I'm sorry because a lot of messages coming from my friend. Well, if I'm not mistaken, can I repeat your question? So in Finland, they do like half half. You mean yes?
Yeah, like she said,
Financial situation.
it's a new way of relationship where they're
Uh-huh.
more like partners
I see.
instead of
It's
yeah.
financial side. Yes. What you
Yeah.
mean? Well, yes, the woman mentioned probably before in Ukraine it was like that when the husband works and the woman takes care of children and cooking and everything. But actually, the situation is has changed already a few years ago. I mean, women are working as well, and partners are taking care of everything, trying to be together equal. As for me, I think what for me is okay. I have to be financial independent, and I've been always doing all my best to be independent. And yes, I take care of my child, I'm okay. But at the same time, I think for me, the man should be, I've already mentioned, more powerful than me. So I would be better if he is better of me, like having his own business or whatever. But I have to be sure that he is doing well with his financial side. And it's nice when, going somewhere for dinner or, traveling. I feel better when the husband invites or a man invites me. It's just something, because the women, they are always kind of, um how to say, weaker than a man, and it would be lovely to feel like somebody's taking good care of you. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is like that. But of course, my own expenses, I will take care of that.
Yeah, super. Excellent interview. Really one of the best.
Thank
Lots of information. So for me, that's it. Is there something else you want to add? Some question I forgot to ask you, which is very important, or
yes.
is there something I forgot to ask you, or that you want to add to finish this
Well,
interview?
well, I have a daughter as well, so I don't know. It depends how the person deals with that. Well, and I want kids, yeah, and probably the place to live would be nice if it is a city, I think, or at least it shouldn't be a multiple city, but a city where would be a university or something. So, or it can be actually um travel agency or something connected, where you can make your career. It's something maybe I would like to have, or the person can come back to Ukraine. Well, I don't know, but this is the thing,
Yeah,
to have some career space. Now, this small place I'm now at. Yeah.
yeah, because you to teach Chinese, you need at least middle-sized city where they have a Chinese.
Yeah, would be
Uh,
lovely, because you see, I've been studying and working in China. I was on TV on some period of time, and I enjoyed it a lot. And well, I was thinking of a lot of things to do, because Chinese people are all over the world, and I love it. This country, I mean, I love this culture and language. And I think, well, the thing is, I don't want to get married to Chinese, though I really like this country. I still prefer European uh, guys. I think probably yeah, it's that's what I wanted to. But it would be nice if he can get some also a little bit idea about Asia, and then the scenes, so we can do a lot of projects together, or well, whatever, just to make life interesting. And at the end, we could say no regret. Yeah.
Super, perfect.
Yeah. Merci beaucoup.
Okay, so
Okay.
stop the recording.